There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it comes to making an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the one you'll call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Imagine turning simple daily actions into a life-changing force. Yeah, sounds amazing, right? We're not talking about Star Wars here. Here's what I want you to do. Picture this: a slight nudge. A mere 1% improvement each day. Heck, a mere 0.5%, 0.25% of improvement each and every day. It sounds insignificant, doesn't it? Yet, what if I told you that hidden within these tiny, infinitesimal, consistent steps lies a powerhouse of potential, one that can fundamentally redefine your entire success story? Welcome, my friend, to the magical realm of compounding. Let me share a story. One that's not just remarkable, but speaks volumes about the power of this silent giant. There's a fable, and this fable is about a king who had to pay for his folly by placing a single grain of rice on a chessboard, and he had to double it on each subsequent square. By the end of doing this, the king owned more rice than he had in his entire kingdom. This, my friends, this story kind of illustrates compounding at work, a force where success isn't a sudden explosion, but rather a consistent spark, an ongoing flame, quietly fueling monumental results over time. As we dive in today, we're going to uncover how leveraging this potent concept can transform not just your business, but will echo profoundly in your personal life as well.
Hey there, audacious parents. Welcome to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast, where we're not just about surviving, we're about thriving. If you're tuning in, you're not looking for just another feel-good, pat-on-the-back kind of show. No. You're here because you're ready to disrupt the status quo. You're ready because you're here to challenge your limits and to step out of the comfort zone where we know growth never happens. This is not just your average, let's all be happy with our 9-to-5 lives kind of podcast. We're here to give you actionable strategies. We're here to dive deep into the world of side hustles, digital marketing, and smart income-boosting tactics. Why, you may ask? Because we're designed for parents like you, parents juggling family expenses, childcare, and the elusive me time. We're not just about making money, though. We're about designing a life that you dictate, not one that's been prepackaged in a soul-sucking 9-to-5 box. So, if you're ready to break free and design a life that aligns with your dreams, design a life that aligns with your family, you're in the right place. The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur. I am your humble host, Tracy Brinkman, and I am thrilled that you are here today. I seriously mean that, right? Because you could be doing so many other amazing things with your time, but you took a minute to click play on this episode. So whether you're a seasoned veteran on this journey with us or a curious newcomer, I promise you, my friend, are in for a treat today. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's dive into the topic that could very well transform the trajectory of your life as well as your business. Because today, my friends, we're diving into the fascinating world of compounding. I know what you're thinking. Tracy, isn't that a financial term? Well, buckle up, my Dark Horse friend, because compounding extends far beyond bank accounts and well beyond stock markets. It is a universal principle that, when you leverage it correctly, can lead to exponential growth in all areas of your life. Here, let me paint a little picture for you. I'm probably, this would have been 1975. So I'm 12-ish years old, and I'm out there. We lived in a little town called Kreisdorf, Germany. My dad was doing his last station in his 23 years in the military. And we lived on a farm, Well, actually, we lived next to a farm, and next to that field was this amazing section of woods. Now, during the winters, I would be outside probably more than I should have. I probably came in with blue lips. I spent so much time outside. One of the things I loved to do was build snowmen. Now, there was this one section of the field that went up and had this long downgrade. Now, mind you, my memory is not as well as it should be, and I was a little kid back then. It seemed like this hill went on for maybe a half a mile. It may have only been 500 feet for all I know. Here's the thing. I used to love going up there and starting the small ball that would become the base of my snowman. Now imagine this small snowball at the top of the hill. You give it that gentle push and it starts rolling down, just a little bit at a time. Right, a little bit, and it gets a little bit bigger, picking up a bit of snow, maybe a little bit of straw left over from the harvest. At first, it seemed like nothing. Like, man, it's going to take me forever to build this damn snowman. But as you continue, and this happened to me one time, I got it so maybe it was probably about, 8, 10 inches in diameter. And the slope of the hill took a downward trajectory, and the ball started to get away from me. And it started to roll, and it kept picking up snow. And again, it still seemed like nothing, but as it got a little bigger, and I'm like, oh, this is going good. And I would roll it to the side, and it would roll some more. And it started gathering more and more snow to the point where it was even getting down to the dirt, and I had to stop it. It really had become this unstoppable force as it went away from me. That, my friends, in a nutshell, maybe not quite a nutshell, is precisely what compounding can do for you. It can be that snowball that you start pushing. And you a little bit more effort, and a little bit more effort. And next thing you know, it starts getting away from you. For instance, personally, I remember starting a daily gratitude routine when I was studying under the ever watchful eye of Tony Robbins. Yeah, just 5 minutes every morning. Just 5 tiny little minutes. It didn't feel like much. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, that small habit rolled down the hill into a complete life-changing transformation for my health as well as my mindset. And today, that's exactly what we're going to be exploring together, that underestimated power of compounding, which can turn every single one of our actions, the smallest of actions, into extraordinary results. Okay, have I built it up enough for you yet? Yeah? Okay, let's begin our exploration of compounding in the business domain by visualizing the foundation of your business as a living organism. Yeah, and it kind of is if you think about it. Each component, no matter how minuscule, no matter how small or tiny, contributes to the overall health, wealth, growth, and success of your enterprise. This concept of making small, minute improvements might seem trivial as you first look at it, but its impact, when allowed to mature over time, can be profound and can certainly be lasting. Take a second and imagine you're implementing just a 0.5%, a 1% improvement. If you're implementing a 1% improvement in a select area of your business each and every day, even if you just work Monday through Friday, at first the changes, okay, I get it, they might not be noticeable, but like that snowball story, over time, this cumulative growth can result in major breakthroughs, turning an average business into a standout performer in its industry. This approach, my friends, we're not just talking theory right here. We're going to talk some solid mathematical background. If you improve by 1 single percent every day for a year, you end up being 37 times better by year's end. Think of that for a moment. 3,700% improvement by making a little tiny progress forward each day. There it is. I could just do the mic drop right now and leave you with that. But let's get practical with the process improvement. Let's say you're running a small e-commerce website. You could decide to enhance the user interface just a little bit, that 1% each day. Maybe you start by optimizing load times. Okay, that's 1%. Maybe you start making navigation a little bit smoother, redefining, putting the most popular things up on top. Okay, that's another improvement. Maybe you start refining the product photos. Each individual change feels minuscule. But collectively, over time, all these improvements uplift the entire user experience, driving higher volume, higher traffic, and ultimately converting more sales. Here's the thing. Steve Jobs once said, it's not about having the brightest ideas. It's about making small, smart choices that get us to our final destination. Let's talk about Starbucks for a second. When they first launched, they were not the powerhouse in coffee that they are today. No, it's obvious when we all start out, none of us are powerhouses. But through consistent delivery of quality, be it in perfecting the coffee bean roast or redefining the customer interaction, they not only established but maintained their leadership in the industry. And this, my friends, is not instantaneous. It was the reflection of years upon years of cumulative iteration, incremental excellence. Boom. Consider the practice of A/B testing. And for those of you that don't know what A/B testing is, you say, this is my current version. And then you create another version with one small tweak. And you see which one performs better. And if B performs better, B becomes A, and you create a new version of B, and you keep rinsing and repeating. A/B testing in the digital marketing world is huge. Businesses like Netflix consistently tweak features based on their user feedback, testing what resonates with those users and what resonates better. Every iteration, every adjustment, their hopes is that it's a step towards a more beloved product. They don't see this as a process that will ever be complete. It's continuous. It's a testament to the power of compounding progress. Here's a great example that I can give from my personal story. Back in the day when I worked at Home Depot, we met every Monday. And by we, I meant the marketing team met every Monday. And we looked at a printout of the home page, right? Just here's the first screen of the homepage of HomeDepot.com. And then next to that were all the places where there were buttons and images. And then a line out of that would have been the click-through rate and the sales performance. So we looked at every single button that was on that homepage for the past 7 days and saw what worked and what didn't. Guess what happened to what didn't work? It was replaced with something else. Okay, we were advertising this outdoor furniture. Well, that one didn't work, but we're still in the outdoor furniture arena, so let's go ahead and try a different piece of outdoor furniture until we found one that worked better. And that became our new A for our A/B testing. And we did this every single week. Now, mind you, there were pieces that never changed. There were pieces that, hey, you're going to go here, you're going to go to outdoor living. Well, that always took you to the same place, but it gave you a baseline of, okay, here's my overall average. And these ones that are variables, wow, they should be performing at least as good as the average. And if they're not, they're out. And we would put them in there with something new until we found a heavy hitter. And then we rinsed and we repeated every single Monday that we worked together. Okay. So this is the 1% change. All right. So now let's tackle this comparison between consistency and quick wins. And we're going to talk about this bad boy head on. What's the difference between 1% ongoing compounding process and quick wins? Well, quick wins are enticing. They're exciting. Wow, I didn't even expect that to happen. Those are quick wins. They promise that immediate gratification that we all know and we all love so much. However, while such results can give you that true boost of energy, the true and sustainable strength of any significant achievement largely roots from consistent, ongoing, patient effort. Yeah, quick wins are great. We landed that great deal. Amazing. You still have to keep growing, ongoing, 1% improvement all the time. Consider the analogy of planting a tree. You go out there, you dig a hole, you put the tree in the ground, in an hour, is it going to be strong and firm and ready to go and take on years of wind? No, it's not. To get a strong, fully grown tree takes years of growth, watering, pruning, nurturing. That tree's strength isn't from just having been planted. It's about the consistent care and its growth over time. It's going to get its roots down in and it's going to keep reaching for the sky. That's where the growth comes from. So, how does this translate to your business, you may ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. It means valuing all your day-to-day operations. It means valuing the systems and the routines that you have established. Excellence, my friends, is a habit. Excellence is a compound result of everything you consistently do to push that 1% betterment each day as you go forward. Think about that for a moment.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Go ahead, take a moment and think about where you can leverage compounding, like the examples we've already discussed, right? Maybe it's the Home Depot example. Maybe it's Steve Jobs. Maybe it's Starbucks, whichever one. But start small and aim for those tiny improvements consistently. That's the key. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep improving my user interaction. And here's how I'm going to do it 1% every single day. Whether it's enhancing your customer service or tweaking your product features or encouraging better team collaboration, be in it for the long haul, because real, incredible change comes from patience, diligence, and that unwavering pursuit of excellence. All right. As we shift our focus from the business arena to personal development, it's going to become clear that compounding isn't just this external force out there. It's also an internal powerhouse. Personal growth, my friends, thrives on those small actions consistently woven into the fabric of our daily lives. And all of this leads to exponential self-improvement over time. It's not a sprint, because unlike a sprint, it's a marathon where the small steps of that marathon lead to monumental change and finally crossing that finish line. But is there really a finish line? Or is that marathon life? Huh? Okay. Oh, hold on. Don't get away from me here. Let's go ahead and dissect the impact of daily habits. We often underestimate the power of repetition. But consider this for a moment. Engaging in a small positive habit daily, whatever habit you think of, could be reading. Maybe it's meditating. Maybe it's getting out and walking around the block. It might seem negligible in isolation. When you think about that thing all by itself, it's like, big deal. I read a chapter. So what? Well, each of those chapters put new knowledge in your head. And as new knowledge goes into your head, it molds with the old knowledge. And guess what? You get new ideas. Yet, each of these actions, when repeated, they accumulate into a profound shift in that knowledge, a profound shift in your mindset and your well-being. It's like planting seeds in a garden. Well, I know we talked about the tree earlier. Tiny actions grow into a flourishing landscape over time. If you took the time each and every day and planted a single seed in the field of your backyard, in the field of your mind, in the field of your life, as you nurture those seeds and keep planting the next one, will every single one of them grow? Probably not, but that's okay. You're going to still create this flourishing landscape in your life. Consider a simple yet powerful habit of journaling, daily journaling even. You could start by jotting down your thoughts each night, whatever it is. It could be good thoughts, it could be gratitude thoughts. You could make it a gratitude exercise. Here are the things I thought I went through today. Just write it down. That's okay. As the days turn into weeks, and the weeks turn into months, and the months turn into years, you're not only refining your thoughts, but you're also developing a better understanding of yourself and the trajectory you're already on. This soft skill, consistently practiced, can sharpen your emotional intelligence and really hone your decision-making ability, because you're going to look back and go, well, I wish I wouldn't have done that. It's a compounding impact of investing in yourself. Here, let me illustrate this by sharing a story about an inspiring person I met at a seminar, Anna. Anna aspired to improve her public speaking skills, but feared stepping into the spotlight. She began simply by practicing speeches in front of a mirror for 5 minutes a day. Those minutes, initially by themselves, like we talked about earlier, seemed inconsequential. Who cares? Filled with self-doubt and all those awkward pauses that we've all felt when we had to go give a presentation. But as the days passed, Those minutes became a refuge where skills were honed and confidence was grew. And I'd like to think I had a small part of that process because I gave her a speech practice process that I had honed during my time on stages across the country back in the day. This process broke the speech down into mental, audible, and visual into 3 components. First, let's talk about the mental. Let's get the content you want to present hashed out to the point where you can just recite it without stumbling, without bumbling. Don't worry about the perfection of your words, but you can just go from word 1 to word 5,000 and you can get through it, right? Okay, now I've got that comfortable. Once you have that part and you're comfortable, it's time for the next 1% improvement. What you do here is you record yourself speaking the content. Then listen to yourself. Where do you need to change your pacing? Where do you need to slow down? Where can you show excitement by speeding up? How about your tonality? Do you need to speak deeper? Do you need to speak more fluently? Whatever it is, does it flow naturally when spoken in the same way that it did when you wrote it? Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, and you've all experienced this, you write something and you read it and it's amazing. But when you try to present it on stage in the spoken word, it gets kind of herky-jerky, right? You feel me? Okay? All right. Once you have that, all right, you made that next 1% improvement, you can speak it, all right, you got that in a comfortable place, then you tackle the visual. Now you want to video yourself presenting the content because you've got the content down, you can speak it, and now you've managed where you want to put your vocal tonality and your pacing. Now you want to do, okay, how am I going to do it with my hand gestures? Where am I putting my hands, right? What I want to do, I speak a lot with my hands. Sometimes I pace and I have to change that. Now you can do that. Maybe I need a different posture. Maybe I need to put my hands in different places. How about eye contact? Am I looking over here or way off to the side when I need to be talking to the audience? Maybe I need to talk to this one person here for a specific point, then take my eye contact and move it to somewhere else in the audience for the next specific point. Here's the thing. Within 6 months, Anna's practice sessions had accumulated into hours of experience. By the time she stepped onto that stage on that open mic night, what began as tentative steps evolved into a commanding presence that captivated her audience. This transformation, ladies and gentlemen, was no accident. It was the compounding outcome of unwavering consistency, 1% improvement every time she practiced. All right, let me give you one more example from the author James Clear. He's renowned for his book, Atomic Habits. And if you haven't read it, I suggest you can go give it a read. He emphasizes how focusing on making good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible can transform not just your outputs, but your very identity, who you believe you are at the end. Each deliberate action, no matter how small, can redefine who you are and really enhance what you're capable of achieving. So, what does that mean for us? Oh, I got it, Tracy. I believe you. Okay, what does it mean? Well, identifying and embedding simple habits into our lives holds the key to elevating our ability to reach the things we want to achieve. So here are 5 quick strategies to start harnessing this power right now. Number 1, start with clarity and start with intention. Begin by articulating what it is you want to change or what it is you're trying to achieve. Be specific. So what I mean by this is instead of saying, I want to be healthier. I hear this all the time. I want to lose weight. I want to be healthier. Decide, I will walk 10 minutes each morning before I go to work. You feel the difference? Walking 10 minutes each morning before you go to work can result in you being healthier, maybe even losing a little weight. But there's a difference in the power in it. You feel me? Number 2, let's utilize a little bit of habit stacking. What you want to do here is you want to attach your new habit to something you're already doing. Attach it to an existing routine. For instance, if you want to start meditating, maybe you link your meditation, your new meditation habit, to your current habit of having your morning coffee. Right? Maybe you meditate while your coffee is brewing. This leverages existing patterns to ease the integration in on the new habit. Yeah, make it easy. Just work it right on in there. Number 3, the 2-minute rule. Maybe I should have made this one number 2. Number 3 is the 2-minute rule. Initiate any new habit by doing it for 2 minutes. Yeah. here's an example. If your goal is to write a book, this is where I really started using this one. I called it the 5-minute rule back there. But if your goal is to write a book, start by writing a sentence a day. This makes habits more approachable by doing it for 2 minutes. It's like, well, I'm not dedicating myself to an hour of doing it. No, 2 minutes. Anyone can do something for 2 minutes. You can stand on one toe for well, maybe you can, but I can't. Anyway, this makes habits more approachable and far less daunting. All right? Eventually expanding as momentum builds. Because here's what I mean by that. What'll happen is, maybe the first time you only do it for 2 minutes. But once you sit down and start writing, if we continue on the book analogy here, you'll find that you'll write a paragraph, a page, 2 pages, a whole chapter, whatever it might be. And next thing you know, your book is done. Okay? The 2-minute rule. Number 4, embrace the compounding effect. That's what this whole episode is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Know that every small action is an investment in the future self that you're building today. And change, my friend, is not immediate. It's progressive. You watch a flower grow. You watch your kids grow. You see a plant develop into a beautiful tree, whatever it might be. As you make daily commitments, assess your growth and keep your eyes on the long-term benefits. Remember your journal. And number 5, let's go ahead and celebrate the micro wins. Let's recognize those small victories, no matter how minuscule, no matter how tiny they may seem. Celebrate them. Woohoo! Do it. Celebrating progress sustains your motivation. It charges it back up. It stokes and fuels the fire and reinforces the habit loop. Right? It solidifies that positive behavior into a routine. It creates that new habit that you were trying to create in the first place. Here's the thing. The journey of personal growth isn't a leap. It's not like you're parachuting out of a plane. No, it's a series of intentional steps taken consistently. It's like Dorothy and the whole crew going to Oz. They took that first step on the yellow brick road, and then the next, and the next, and the next, and all their adventures that happened from those steps taken consistently. Each day presents an opportunity. Each day is an opening to enrich and reshape our lives to something we desire. Imagine the difference that you will have a year from now if you started right after you finish listening to this podcast. Choose one habit and commit to it, and watch the compounding force weave its magic into your life. It's about creating systems of small wins that, over time, lead to those significant triumphs and those personal transformations that we all dream, desire, and deserve. Now, we've explored the transformative power of positive compounding in our life. Professional, personal. It's essential to acknowledge its less discussed counterpart. I don't want to give you all the roses and great woo-haws. Let's talk about negative compounding here, something you're going to want to avoid. Here we go. Picture this. Each negative habit or each negative decision that you make is like a tiny drip in the bucket of life. Initially, these drops, these drips, they seem kind of harmless, barely even making a ripple, right? They just hear them. Right? However, over time, they accumulate, and before you know it, that 5-gallon bucket is overflowing and heavy as hell. And the consequences of having to carry that thing around and hold you back from achieving your true potential as it drags you down. Because who here has ever picked up a full 5-gallon bucket of water? How about one of those wet dry vacs that holds 10 gallons? Yeah, this really came evident for me. So let me give you a quick story here. Moved into a new house. As many of you know, we bought a farm out here in western Wisconsin. And I think the house was built in 1940, and it's been added on to a few times. It's an amazing house. I love it. However, there's a septic system. And I've had septic systems before. But what I didn't know about this particular one, and we had it serviced before we moved in, which was a mere 6 months ago at the time of this recording, is that it wasn't a standard septic system. It was a capture tank. There's a big capture tank out there, and you have to have someone come out here and drain it on a periodic basis. Now, mind you, my previous septic systems, they had drain fields, and they would come out about every year or two and just service the system, make sure everything was working great. So that's what I figured we had here. And all of a sudden, I started getting water in my basement. And so I brought the wet dry vac down here, Again, I would suck it up and dump it out, suck it up and dump it out. First, it was just a little bit, and then it became more and more. And then one morning, I came down here, and there was like 150 gallons of water in here because I hadn't addressed it when it was just a little bit. It's that negative compounding. And how do I know it was 150 gallons? Because I filled up my 10-gallon wet dry vac 15 times. I'm over here looking over at it right now. It's still down here because I'm afraid it's going to happen. We've had everything fixed since then. And it was like, you're going through, what is it? What's backing up? We had this new water system put in. Is it backwashing into it? And that's what's causing it? No, that's not what it was. Is there some drain blockage? Nope, that's not what it was. We finally found out it was our septic system was full. I mean, to the brim. And it was a simple solution.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
But ignoring it, that negative compounding. Negative compounding operates like gears grinding in the wrong direction. Yeah, pushing you backwards. It's the accumulation of poor choices, a missed workout here, a skipped deadline there, or repeatedly succumbing to unhealthy habits. That over time can and will dramatically tilt the balance away from progress. So consider the habit of procrastination. Many of the folks I chat with from listening to this podcast or that I get to work with, this is one of the big ones for them. What starts as a I will do this tomorrow mindset can easily snowball into a pattern of perpetual delay. Tomorrow never comes. And this is hampering your ability to meet both personal and professional goals. It's like deferred debt. Each delay incurs interest until it becomes this overwhelming burden you can no longer ignore. How about avoid the interest in the first place? Another example could be poor financial habits, right? Consistently overspending or failing to save or both. While each transaction by itself might feel insignificant, accumulated over days, weeks, months, or even years, it can compound into this financial strain or all this debt that can just completely crush you, constraining all of your future opportunities and potentially your future growth. But wait, ladies and gentlemen, let me hit you with one more, perhaps more relatable example. Think of your health. Regularly skipping exercise and opting for instant gratification meals weaken your physical well-being 1% at a time. What seems like an occasional indulgence can turn into this chronic lifestyle of diseases, significantly impacting the quality of your life. Hey, I'll just have a piece of cake. Next thing you know, you're buying the cake and you're eating the whole damn thing in a weekend or a day. I'm just going to have some chips. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Next thing you know, you're buying the big family-sized Dorito bag and you're consuming them all in one sitting. You feel me? Yeah, it's those slow increments, okay? That's that negative compounding. So how do we break these cycles, Tracy? How do we keep them from trapping us? I'm glad you asked. The first thing you're going to need to do is acknowledge and identify your negative habits. Self-awareness here is going to be your maestro in orchestrating the changes that you want to have ring out, pinpointing those seemingly small choices contributing to that downslide and understanding the root causes behind them. One efficient way to begin reversing those gears, reversing these trends, is by implementing the principle of one small act of redemption. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to redeem myself. For every negative choice today, introduce a counter positive action tomorrow. Maybe you missed a workout today. Okay, that's fine. Commit to walking a few extra blocks tomorrow and then do it. Did you splurge impulsively today? Spend a little extra money? Set aside double that amount in savings. Yeah, you feel me? You're going to start counteracting these things and start building those habits. Let's dive into 5 actionable strategies that help you ward off procrastination and recalibrate yourself into decision making. Number 1, break tasks down into smaller parts. Yeah, let's chunk it down, as Tony Robbins used to often say. Overwhelm fuels procrastination. It does. It's just a fact, right? You go, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And quite often you don't do anything. Deconstruct those daunting tasks down into smaller tasks, and then deconstruct those smaller tasks down into bite-sized nuggets, bite-sized portions, something you can do in probably 10, 15 minutes, making them more approachable and far less intimidating. Number 2, set yourself some non-negotiable deadlines. Create firm but realistic, hear me on this, firm but realistic deadlines to help foster some accountability. Share these with a friend or a mentor, someone you trust, to gain an extra level of commitment. Zig Ziglar used to say, share all of your give-up goals and none of your go-up goals. Your go-up goals you probably want to share with someone you trust implicitly, a significant other, a mentor. And the difference are your give-up goals is I'm giving up sweets, I'm giving up this, I'm giving up that. Your go-up goals are I'm going to be the next CEO of our company. You got to be careful who you share that with because there are competitors out there. Number 3, let's adopt the 5-second rule. And this isn't the rule about something dropped on the floor and you can pick it up and eat it in 5 seconds. No. We're going to use the Mel Robbins method here. If you feel an impulse to act on a goal, count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then move. Do it. This rewires your brain towards immediate action rather than delay. Heck, don't even wait till you reach 1, 5, 4, go. Right like that. Number 4, reflect on why. Whenever faced with a decision, I want you to pause and consider, will this action lead me towards or away from my goals? This momentary pause and reflection can shift choices to a completely positive manner, right? Because sometimes we do, because it sounds so amazing, but then when you take a moment to reflect, you're like, I wish I wouldn't have done that. How about we go ahead and move that reflection moment as part of the decision-making process. And number 5, implement regular reviews. Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about giving yourself an employee review, but maybe I am. Here's what I want you to do. Schedule some weekly self-check-ins to evaluate your habits and your choices. Celebrate those positive. Remember, we're going to celebrate those little wins and realign the negative ones that tend to keep creeping back in. This is a mindful approach that helps you prevent that negative compounding from taking root in your life, because you're going to come in here every week and, oh, look, it's trying to sneak back in again. And when you're aware, you're looking for it. What happens so many times is we don't do these evaluations, we don't do these mindful check-ins, and things start creeping back in. And because they're so stealthily sneaking their way back into our lives, we don't often notice their impact right away. Okay? Remember, breaking free from negative compounding isn't about shaming your mistakes. No. We're not mistake shaming here. It's about learning to steer clear from them in the future. It's about repositioning ourselves onto the path of constructive growth, getting ourselves off that path of negative growth. There's no growth in negative. Anyway, we want to foster positive habits and make deliberate choices that nurture an upward compounding trajectory in our lives, in our business, right? In our relationships, in everything. Every day, my friend, is an opportunity to shift the balance towards success, reflect, adjust, and propel yourself towards the future that you are completely capable of achieving. One compounded step at a time. Yeah? You feel me? Okay. All right. Now, I'm sorry I'm running long here today. That's how important this one is. Now, we've arrived at a crucial crossroad in our exploration of the compounding principle. We arrive at 2 of its critical components, and they are patience and persistence. If compounding is a seed, then patience and persistence are like sunlight and water, nurturing and guiding growth, again, over time. These virtues are often the unsung heroes behind the truly transformative successes that we all desire and deserve. They're helping individuals, they're helping businesses alike see their efforts come to fruition, see the growth and the fruits of those efforts, right? It's not about racing to the finish line, but it's about faithfully committing to each day's journey. Compounding demands the long game. Stop thinking about the short game on this in this one right here. We're talking about the long game here, and understanding that true progress accrues not overnight, but through the patient pursuit of enduring practices, of honed systems, whatever it might be. Let's delve into a couple of success stories here to help illustrate how patience transforms steady perseverance into what others perceived as an overnight success, right? We've all seen those overnight successes. And when you dig into it, look back, you peel back the curtain, you realize, shit, they've been doing this forever. The example I have right here, Bryan Cranston, right? Best known for his role in Breaking Bad. Many labeled his extraordinary rise to fame as sudden. Wow, this overnight, he landed this role, and all of a sudden he blew up. But what isn't seen, as I just mentioned, is the decades. You got to peel back that curtain, and you see that he spent decades honing his craft in the shadows of small roles, his patience and his persistence finally culminating in a role that showcased his long dedication to his craft. Or let's consider the consistent practice of an athlete, right? Serena Williams came out of nowhere, it seems like. Behind each championship title lies, and for those of us who've been in sports, those of you who've been in sports, you understand this, lies years of training, years of discipline, and years of unwavering commitment to that 1% improvement every single day. An illustrious career carved out of enduring the grind day in and day out is Serena Williams, proving that persistence renders success that seems startling in its visibility when we finally notice it. But it's really and truly rooted in uncompromising dedication to that 1% improvement every single day. So, how do we maintain this motivation? How do we maintain this patience necessary for harnessing this power of compounding you keep telling me about, Tracy? Well, it can be challenging in a world that, I think glorifies immediate results and instant gratification, right? Let me give you 5 quick tactics to help you with this, okay? Number 1, embrace the journey over the destination. This is a tough one, right? What do you mean? Well, I need you to shift your mindset to find fulfillment in the daily efforts that you're taking rather than solely on the goal you're striving to achieve. If you get fulfillment out of making yourself 1% better every day in whatever goal you're trying to achieve to get you there, that is going to keep you just juiced. Celebrate those small wins, because those, my friends, are really the steps toward greater achievements. Today's small win is a bigger win tomorrow, and an even bigger win the next day. And here's the thing, tomorrow's or next week's or next month's small win is a win today you would think is bigger than it will be then. You feel me? Okay. Number 2, visualize long-term impact. Create yourself a vision board. You've heard about these, or Google it, okay? Go to YouTube, creating a vision board. Maybe I'll do an episode on it later on. Tell me down in the comments, or hit me, Tracy, at darkhorseschooling.com if you think I need to do an episode about vision board. But create a vision board or a journal depicting your long-term goals. And then regularly come back and remind yourself of your aspirations. This can fortify that patience as you visualize that outcome beyond the hurdles you're trying to jump over today. Okay? Number 3, stay present and stay mindful. I need you to be practicing mindfulness because this can keep you grounded in the here and now. Because sometimes we're so busy looking at that lofty goal, we think, man, I'm so close to it, and your feet are lifting up off the ground and you're forgetting some key things. Okay? And when you stay grounded, you can reduce the anxiety about their future and allow yourself to appreciate the progress that you have already made so far. Take a minute and look back at what you've already accomplished. Yeah? And then look forward at what you're about to accomplish tomorrow, next week, next month. Yeah. All that is leading towards that big goal. Number 4, cultivate a growth mindset. View challenges and setbacks as avenues for growth rather than obstacles. It's not failure, it's feedback. Each lesson learned is going to add some depth to your journey, add some depth to your knowledge. You have new feedback. Look at it, read it. I know it might be, right now, the wound's a little raw because it just happened. But look at the results that you just got and think, I got to do this. If I did it again now, knowing what I now know, what would I change? Yeah. It adds depth to your journey and enhances your ability to adapt, right? It grows your resilience, okay? Growth mindset. Number 5, accountability partners. Partner with a mentor. Partner with a peer who shares similar aspirations, but partner with someone and have those regular check-ins. These regular check-ins can provide encouragement, celebrate the shared progress that you're having and they're having. You can root them on, you can root you on. And this is going to bolster the motivation for both of you during periods when solitude might lead to waning perseverance. Man, you might be sitting down there, God, I'm the only one doing this, and I'm doing this all by myself. If you have an accountability partner, it can help you realize you, my friend, are not alone.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Now, so as we wind down this particular discussion on patience and perseverance, remember the beauty of embracing a visionary mindset. Get out there and plant those seeds today. It's going to feel daunting. I get it, especially when the outcome remains to be unseen, right? I don't even know what it seems like. I know what I want it to be, but trust in the process. Keep doing that 1% improvement of that process. Know that the roots are taking hold, even in the moments when in the winter of life and the winter of business, it all seems dormant. Your role in this is to envision the towering tree that you're nurturing, right? Let it be a testament to the compounding successes fostered through patience, fostered through perseverance. It's an investment in your future self as well as your future business. One that is compounding rewards because you choose and to believe in the day-to-day efforts that you are taking today. That 1% improvement that you're doing today, tomorrow, the next day. Maintain your gaze on the horizon even as your path begins to switch right, left, up, down, sideways, whatever. Knowing that every consistent step forward brings mighty dreams a little closer to your reality. All those things that you dream, desire, and deserve are inching closer to you as you can keep taking those consistent steps. Lean into the deliberate practice of patience, for it's going to make your achievements not only possible, but sustainable. Yeah? Now, I think that's even more important. It's one thing to reach your achievement. It's another thing to hold on to it. And as you continue to apply these principles, the possibilities, I think, are boundless. That, my friends, brings us to our Whiskered Wisdom segment. This is a little time I set aside in each episode just for you so that I can offer some actionable insights that you can integrate into your life right now. As soon as you hear it, go ahead and press pause as soon as I give you this little insight, and then go do it. And then come back and listen to the rest. This, my friends, I think is where the rubber meets the road and where wisdom isn't just shared, but turned into tangible action. What I say earlier, don't just listen to the podcast, any video, any content, and not take action. You got to do both. Today, we've talked about it a couple of times, but I want to introduce you to something simple but powerful, and that is a growth tracker. Right? Think of it in any way you want to. It could be a personal log, a journal of sorts, a digital app even, right? But at the end of the day, the primary objective is to jot down one small improvement each day. That one small thing that you said, I'm going to do to get that 1% improvement. You see, articulating these daily wins, no matter how minuscule they may seem, does wonders for us over time. It not only anchors our progress, but it also cultivates this powerful habit of reflection, which reinforces your developmental journey, whether it's personal or business. You can tell yourself, here's what I'm going to do each day. And then you can look back and look through your growth tracker and see that you did it. The beauty of the growth tracker lies, I think, in its simplicity. You don't need some elaborate setup. It could be a notebook. Right? It could be a digital app, whatever it may be for you. What matters not is the medium that you choose. What matters is the consistency in recording those moments of growth, creating this visual tapestry of your ongoing efforts and your accomplishments. Heck, you could even record your failures, and then, if you record the failure, be sure to record what you would do different next time. Yes? Okay. So here's 5 easy steps on how you can get started with your own little growth tracker. Number 1, pick your medium. Find your medium and then pick it. Like I said earlier, it could be a notebook. It could be a digital app. You could use a spreadsheet. I don't care what you use. As long as you use the back of a napkin. Make sure you have a bunch of napkins though, right? Something that's easily accessible for you and fits into your routine. I used to print off, a daily to-do list each and every day for like 5 years. Okay. And so I had a stack of them. And what I would do is I would jot down in the bottom of it. I've moved that now to a journal, but for me at the time, I was already doing something that gave me a space to write into it. So that's what I did. So fit it right into your routine. Number 2, set your focus. Decide what area of your life or decide what area of your business that you want to emphasize. You want to grow. You want to strengthen. Is it your personal habits? Maybe it's a professional skill, or perhaps your health and well-being. Pick one. The key is to honing in on a specific area to track. For instance, right? Maybe you want to improve your public speaking skills like we talked about earlier. Note any practice sessions that you exercise. Note any feedback you've received. Note any techniques that you've tested each day that you test them. And here's the other thing. If you did nothing that day, note that too, so that when you come back, we're going to talk about this in a minute, you'll see that, right? Number 3, record daily. Make it a daily ritual, preferably at the same time each day, to jot down that one small improvement that you made. It could be as simple as, I completed a 10-minute meditation. Cool, awesome. Or maybe it's, I applied a new marketing strategy in my business. Boom. Maybe you give it a little more detail than that, but that could be your sentence. Boom, good. Number 4, reflect weekly. At the end of each week, spend a few minutes reviewing these entries. You recognize any patterns? Yeah? Good ones? Bad ones? How many of those where you did nothing? And you start seeing a lot of those. I want to work on that. On the opposite of that, be sure to celebrate those wins. But at the same time, you want to identify those areas for future growth. Wow, I applied that new marketing strategy and I noticed 2 days later, here's what happened. See, now you're going to start clicking in a whole new area because you took the time to write it down and pay attention to it, and you went back and reread everything. This reflection not only solidifies your gains, but also helps to further stoke your motivation. And number 5, share and collaborate. If you feel comfortable share your progress with your accountability partner, with your significant other, with a teammate. This step not only boosts commitment, but it opens doors for more feedback and more encouragement and more removing of the blinders, right? I know when I first started speaking, I had a propensity for moving back and forth across the stage, and I didn't notice it until I got up in front of a group and I asked for the feedback. And every single person gave me different pieces of feedback, but every single one of them, without fail, said, you need to stop pacing. You need to stop pacing. I didn't even know I was doing it, right? I was blind to it. So remove those blinders with some of that feedback. All right. I can hear some of you asking a very powerful question is, why is this exercise so impactful? Well, because it transforms abstract growth into something tangible. Why should I be writing this down every day, Tracy? Because you're taking something abstract that you think you're trying to grow on, and you're turning it into something you can look at, right? It's hard, it's tangible. You're converting it from your mind through your pen onto paper, and you're going to read it. Each entry is going to be a testament to your commitment, to your enthusiasm, and to your potential. Over the days, over the weeks, over the months, your growth tracker will visually narrate each step along that yellow brick road on your journey towards Oz. Is it a story of steady compounding progress leading you towards your goals? Or is it a story of tripping over a brick and then sitting on the sidelines, pouting? It's your story, right? You're going to write it down. So here's a challenge for you. Start this habit today. Go ahead, push pause right now. Grab a pen, open an app, whatever it might be, and make your first entry. Commit to do this and watch how these small acknowledgments compound, one on top of another over time, reinforcing a powerful cycle of growth and self-improvement and better business and more happy clients, whatever it might be you're shooting for. You, my friend, will be amazed at how such a simple act of documentation can elevate your perspective. Remember, every big success is made of a bunch of little bitty victories. Your growth tracker is like a compass, ensuring that you're headed in the right direction. You are the captain of the ship, and you can review the captain's entries. Captain log 24-25-6. Oh, shit, I'm going the wrong way. So that you can get yourself headed back in the right direction. So take this bit of whisker wisdom, wield your mighty pen, and begin charting your journey of continuous growth. Look, friends, I believe in you, and I can't wait to hear about your incredible progress that you're going to make with your growth tracker. Now, as we draw today's really long episode to a conclusion, let's take a moment to reflect on some of the power of compounding that we've explored. We're talking about, we've gone from harnessing incremental improvements in your business to integrating positive routines into your personal and your daily life. Compounding shows us that success is rarely about those grand gestures. Yes, they happen. Yes, you could get on Shark Tank and land $1 million deal, but did you do the work to get there? It's about those compounding pieces that you do every single day. So instead, it's that steady accumulation of all the small actions layered one on top of another consistently over time. We discuss how nurturing patience and persistence is going to be essential in realizing the true potential that you're going to see in compounding, all while highlighting the importance of avoiding those negative habits that can hinder your progress, that could be grinding those gears in the wrong direction. Remember, it's about making wise choices every single day so they can propel your growth journey ever forward. Now, I'd like you to take just a brief moment here to reflect. Consider, if you will, your own life, your personal journey, your business life, and then ask yourself this question. Where can compounding make a significant impact on my life right now? Right? That thought that just popped into your head right that second, that's where you need to go. Is it a new skill you've been meaning to learn? Maybe it's tweaking a business strategy you know isn't quite right. Or maybe it's just simply boosting your daily routine with a new or positive habit. Whatever it is, recognize that you have the power right now to influence your trajectory through the small choices that you're making consistently. Embrace this concept of compounding. It's your ally for sustained growth and ongoing accomplishment. But before we wrap up, let me express my heartfelt gratitude. I mean this wholeheartedly. Thank you for joining me on this voyage of discovery today, this elongated voyage of discovery, you may say. It's your dedication to embracing new ideas and striving for growth that makes this podcast possible. So as we move forward together, I'm going to promise you more enriched content and more dialogue meant to facilitate your journey towards personal, business, and professional triumphs. I'll leave you with this thought, if I may. You still with me? Okay. It's a powerful reminder as you embark on your journey for the day. It's not what we do once in a while that is going to shape our lives. It is what we do consistently. Go ahead. Let that thought guide you as you go forth today and use compounding to create lasting and meaningful change in your life and in your business. And hey, here's a quick thing. If today's episode piqued your interest in goal setting or breaking and chunking things down so that they're not so overwhelming, I encourage you to revisit a few of our past episodes. You could check out episode 398. That's the eye chart method I created for goal setting and achievement. Or you could rewind to way back to episode 18, where I just shared goal setting 101, give you some of the basics. And you can also explore episode 465, Winning the Entrepreneurial Race, where we're going to dive deep into strategies for motivation and mastering goals. These episodes are packed with insights that complement the discussion we had here on compounding. And as always, thank you again for being an integral part of this podcasting community. Your commitment to learning and your commitment to growth inspires me every single day and ultimately inspires every episode I create. Keep engaging. Keep spreading the message, and remember, you're not alone on this journey, my friends. Come join all of us traveling this seemingly lonely road. Come on over to the Dark Horse Tribe Facebook group. You can get there by going to darkhorseschooling.com/tribe, TRIBE. That'll take you straight over to the Facebook group. Go ahead and drop in there and join the rest of us. Until next time, this is your humble host, Tracy Brinkman, signing off with faith in the extraordinary path that you, my friend, are walking. And thank you for taking a few steps on that path with me. Keep compounding your small victories, and together, let's spark a legacy of positive change. Think successfully and take action.
Hey, my Dark Horse Entrepreneur parents, thanks for tuning in. If this episode struck a chord, share it with a fellow parent hustler. Let's grow our tribe that thrives, not just survives. For more insights and a community that totally gets it, join our Facebook group at www.darkhorseschooling.com/tribe. Think successfully and take action.